All right, everyone, grab a seat, get comfortable, and let's jump right in. I want to kick off today's lesson with a question that, honestly, I guarantee every single one of you has thought about at least once. If America can just print unlimited money, why isn't everyone rich? I mean, seriously, think about it. The government literally owns the money printer. So why are there student loans? Why are you guys out there working summer jobs? Why don't they just print $1 million for every citizen, hand it out, and call it a day? It's a completely logical question. But as you're going to see by the end of this class, doing that would actually be a terrible, terrible idea. So welcome to today's Explainer. We're diving into the mechanics and risks of sovereign currency printing. Basically, we're going to look under the hood at how the United States manages the world's most powerful currency, the US dollar. But more importantly, we are going to expose the hidden dangers of that printing press. Because, well, it turns out that printing too much money can get incredibly dangerous, incredibly fast. Okay, here's our game plan for the day. First up, what is money really? Then we'll tackle the pizza problem, which covers inflation. Third, when printing goes wrong. And finally, why the dollar survives. So get your notebooks ready and let's go. Section 1. What is money really? Before we get into printing billions of dollars, I want you to do me a favor. If you've got a dollar bill in your pocket, or even if you're just picturing the balance on your phone's banking app, I need you to completely forget everything you think you know about it. Because money is not just paper. That physical cash sitting in your wallet, it's actually totally worthless on its own. There's absolutely no magical built-in value hiding in its atoms. It's literally just a blend of cotton and linen with some green ink stamped on top of it. So where does the value actually come from? The answer is trust. It's the collective belief that a paper dollar can buy real things, food, houses, fuel, smartphones. This invisible glue of human trust is the exact thing holding our entire global financial system together. When you take a $20 bill to the grocery store, the cashier doesn't take it because they really, really want a piece of green paper. They take it because they trust they can use it to buy gas on their way home. The whole thing runs entirely on trust. Section 2. The pizza problem, or understanding inflation. Now, if trust is so delicate and precious, why on earth would a government ever risk breaking it by messing with the money supply? Well, the hard truth is, governments print money to survive crises. This is a super important point to grasp, guys. When a government fires up the printing press, it's almost never out of greed. It's actually a desperate, drastic measure taken just to keep the country afloat when disaster strikes. And what kind of disasters trigger this? We're talking about massive shocks, wars, deep recessions, pandemics, skyrocketing unemployment. In those really desperate times, the normal, healthy economy just kind of stops. People lose their jobs, businesses lock their doors. So to prevent total societal collapse, the government steps in and injects brand new cash into the system to keep people afloat. But there is a massive, glaring catch here. And to really get it, we need to talk about pizza. Okay, imagine a town. Maybe it's our town right here. And in this entire town, there are exactly 10 pizzas in existence. That's the whole food supply. Now picture this scenario. We still only have our extremely limited 10 pizzas, but suddenly everyone in town gets handed unlimited extra cash. The government just printed a mountain of money and gave everyone in this room a huge stack of bills. What happens next? You're all hungry, you all have tons of cash, but the actual number of pizzas hasn't changed at all. So you're going to start fiercely competing against each other for those same 10 pizzas. Whoever is willing to pay the most from their brand new stack of cash gets the food. So the price just skyrockets. And that right there is our definition for today. Inflation. It happens when too much money enters the economy while products stay limited, causing prices to rise. Having way more paper money doesn't mean you're actually wealthier if the price of absolutely everything you want to buy just shoots up to match it. Section 3. When printing goes wrong. All right, class, let's shift gears and ask a slightly darker question. What actually happens if a government just ignores the pizza problem and the money printers simply never turn off? Well, it boils down to a pretty brutal formula. Printing money without actual economic growth means the currency loses its value, and people stop trusting the money. Remember our rule from Section 1, money equals trust? If you keep printing cash but you aren't actually growing the economy, meaning you aren't making more pizzas, building more houses, creating new tech, the currency falls into this terrifying downward spiral. It completely loses its value, and that invisible glue of trust, it shatters. And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. This has happened in real life. Carrying cash in bags just to buy bread, this was the terrifying reality in countries like Germany back in the 1920s. They experienced what economists call hyperinflation. The government printed so much money that prices got completely out of control. The paper lost its value so incredibly fast that it became practically worthless. You literally needed to haul bags full of cash just to buy one single loaf of bread. Imagine bringing a giant duffel bag stuffed with bills into the cafeteria just to pay for a basic sandwich. That's exactly what happens when trust evaporates. Section 4, Why the Dollar Survives. Now, I know what you're probably thinking. You're sitting there like, wait a second. The United States has definitely printed money during recessions and pandemics. So why hasn't this hyperinflation nightmare destroyed the US? It's a great question. The US dollar stays globally powerful because it's propped up by three unique pillars. First off, America has an absolutely massive economy. We produce a staggering amount of goods and services. So in our analogy, we actually make a ton of pizzas. Second, global trade relies heavily on dollars. Countries everywhere use our currency to trade with each other, which creates massive, constant international demand. And third, investors around the world still deeply trust the American financial system. Those three things act like a giant protective shield for the dollar, keeping us away from that 1920s Germany scenario. So let's bring it all together. Printing money sounds like the easiest fix in the world. It's such a tempting button for a government to push. But too much printing can literally destroy an economy from the inside out. Sure, a quick injection of cash might get a country through a temporary crisis, but it comes with catastrophic hidden risks if you end up breaking that underlying trust. Which leaves us with one final major question to think about. Can we consistently protect the economy from the temptation of the printing press? It's a delicate, high-stakes balancing act that governments are playing every single day. So as you head out of here, just remember, true wealth isn't about how much paper you can print. It's about the real value a society creates and the trust it manages to keep. All right, class dismissed. Thanks for hanging out, and I'll see you in the next explainer.